So, you're in a conversation in Spanish and your conversation partner asks, Oye, ¿qué vas a hacer mañana? You want to reply that you're going to have lunch with a friend. So you start, Mañana comerá yo voy. Suddenly, you've forgotten how to form the future tense in Spanish. The horror, do you need the future simple or how do you say I'm going to have lunch with a friend? Panic! Woof! I bet esa situación te sonó familiar. Luckily, that won't happen to you anymore because today I, Mariana, head of grammar at Spring Spanish, will show you how you can always use the future tense correctly while speaking Spanish in conversations without having to think about conjugation tables. I'm going to do some role-playing to show you how it works, and you will prove to yourself that you now understand the future tense with a little quiz at the end. Sounds good? Empecemos. Okay, back to our conversation. Remember how Mariana Uno asked, Oye, ¿qué vas a hacer mañana? This is how you could reply. Mañana voy a ir a comer con mi amiga Carolina. In this case, you're using the equivalent of I'm going to, which is called informal future. And in Spanish, it works by combining the verb ir plus the preposition a plus an unconjugated verb. I know that quizás suena complicado, but if you just learn the chunk voy a by heart, you are already using the future tense, but you're not thinking about any of the rules que acabo de mencionar. These are other examples you may start using right away. Mañana voy a hacer ejercicio. La próxima semana voy a ir al cine. Cuando acabe la pandemia, voy a viajar. See? Easy, right? This is the easiest way to speak about the future in Spanish. So, in the rest of this video, pay close attention to all the chunks that contain the future tense and start memorizing them as a whole. We have highlighted them in yellow for you. Here are some more examples. ¿Ah, sí? ¿A dónde van a ir a comer? Todavía no sabemos, pero después vamos a ir al cine. ¡Qué bien! ¿Qué película van a ver? No sé, Carolina va a decidir cuál. As you may have noticed, this conversation has loads of chunks. They're highlighted in yellow, remember? If you want a deck of flashcards with these chunks to memorize them easily so they roll off the tongue in conversations, sign up to the Spring Spanish Inner Circle. Just follow the link in the description to try it out. So, the voy a future is your easy way out to talk about the future in Spanish, but we have a real future, el futuro simple. El futuro simple en español is used to talk about things that will or should happen. More specifically, these are the uses of el futuro simple. To make predictions about the future, to express solemn commands like the Ten Commandments, so serious and old-fashioned commands, to talk about guesses, possibilities, and probabilities. Regarding conjugation, fortunately, all verbs in Spanish, so whether they end in AR, ER, or IR, have la misma terminación in the simple future. Let's go over some examples. Predictions about the future. Oye, pero ¿no les da miedo salir ahorita en plena pandemia? Pues saldremos con todas las precauciones. Bueno, me imagino que el centro comercial estará tranquilo mañana. Sí, yo también creo eso. Además, supongo que no tardaremos mucho. Do you notice any patterns? Here's how we form el futuro simple. If you're talking about yourself, you add an E with an accent mark, as in saldré. If you're addressing someone using the informal you, tú, you add a S with an accent mark, as in saldrás. If you're talking about he or she, you only add an A with an accent mark, as in estará or saldrá. If you're speaking in the first person plural, nosotras, nosotros, the ending is remos, as in nadaremos. Dory from Finding Nemo will help you remember this one.
Nadaremos, nadaremos.
If you're talking about plural you, ustedes, or they, ellas, ellos, the ending will always be an with an accent mark, as in saldrán. Again, it's easier to just learn them by heart as chunks in context, like in the sentence from the conversation, saldremos con todas las precauciones. Chunk alert! Saldremos con todas las precauciones is a sentence that became very popular during 2020. It's made out of two chunks, saldremos con and todas las precauciones. As you can tell, a word-for-word translation is a bit awkward, nonsensical even. So it's better to learn these chunks by heart. If you say saldremos con todas las precauciones, you're talking about nosotras or nosotros, but you could combine the chunk todas las precauciones with other chunks to talk about different people. For example, saldré con todas las precauciones. ¿Saldrás con todas las precauciones? Are you sure? Ella es muy cuidadosa, saldrá con todas las precauciones. Ellos juran que saldrán con todas las precauciones. Yes, this one is sarcastic for the so-called Covidiots. Solemn commands. Since Catholicism plays a huge role in Mexico, I actually had to learn the 10 Commandments by heart when I was a child. No robarás. Honrarás a tu padre y a tu madre. Since these are solemn or serious old-fashioned commands, they use el futuro simple. Now, you will hardly hear native speakers using the future in solemn commands, except when I say, te suscribirás al canal de Spring Spanish. Just kidding, this is just a friendly reminder that we publish 5 new Spanish lessons from Monday to Friday for free. So if you don't want to miss any of them, subscribe and hit the bell button. Todas nuestras clases te ayudarán a aprender español. Guesses, probabilities, and possibilities. You need el futuro simple to talk about things that may or are probably true. ¿Supiste que José se casó la semana pasada? ¿En serio? ¿Con su novia de siempre? No, con una chica que conoció hace 3 meses. ¿Qué? Eso está rarísimo. ¿Estará embarazada? Sí, a lo mejor. Chunk alert. A lo mejor is another example of a chunk you should learn by heart. The literal translation would be something like to the better, but an actual equivalent is maybe or probably. You may use this chunk when you're not sure about something, but you think the odds are very high. So, learn this one by heart as a whole, and you will sound like a true native speaker when talking about guesses, probabilities, or possibilities. Quiz and practice. So, what do you think? Are you ready to test your knowledge of el futuro simple? Try to fill in the blanks to do so. Mañana, blank, con mi amiga Carolina. Voy a comer. ¿A dónde, blank, a comer? Van a ir. Supongo que, blank, mucho. No tardaremos. ¿Qué película, blank, van a ver? Carolina, blank, ¿cuál? Va a decidir. Blank, todas las precauciones. Saldremos con. Ellos juran que, blank, todas las precauciones. Saldrán con. ¿Estará embarazada? Me imagino que el centro comercial blank mañana. Estará tranquilo. No robarás. Do you see yourself speaking effortlessly about the future in Spanish now? I bet you do. Next up, speak about the past in Spanish. How? Find out in my next lesson, of course. Click on the image on screen to learn all about the past tense in Spanish with chunks. I will see you there. Adios!